everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, December 2nd through Sunday, December 8th, 2019. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Angel Tarot deck by Radley Valentine for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Ascended Masters Divination deck. Just a reminder that this is the first full week of December. It's a brand new month and a brand new energy. So make sure to go onto my YouTube channel and watch the monthly angel card reading for the month of December. It will have an overview of the numerology energy, the energy astrologically that are the highlights, as well as messages from our angels and guides. So let's start by looking at your stones of choice for this week's weekly reading. Now, I am in the process of unpacking because I moved to a new place. I think I mentioned in last week's weekly reading that I've had some changes that were coming up, and actually that change was about moving not only my business and myself, but kind of redirecting my whole life as far as what was occurring with me when I first moved to Oregon. And this is going to be a new chapter of my life, so I ask that you send me love and light and positive intentions as I'm still unpacking. And I guess the reason why I mentioned that is because these stones of choice are just the ones that I've come across as I was unpacking. And they are ones that we've probably seen before, used before, but a lot of that stuff is still kind of packed away amongst the chaos that ensues here. So anyway, let's take a look at those stones. The first stone of choice is this beautiful citrine cluster. Now, this is a beautiful golden yellow stone. This one actually has hints of the orange in it as well. So this is going to relate to the solar plexus chakra and the sacral chakra. Solar plexus chakra is about our sense of will. It's about our confidence. It's about our empowerment. And the sacral chakra is about our creative self-expression and our passion, both passion on a sexual level as well as on a creative and life purpose level. The citrine is known as a stone of abundance and a stone of happiness and joy. So if those things are things that attract you, then perhaps this is your stone of choice this week. And then we have, for the second stone of choice, beautiful clear quartz crystal point. It is a cut and polished stone, so it's got a wonderful clarity to it. So this to me is one of the messages from this stone, is that if you're seeking some sort of clarity, if things have been confusing as of late, and even when I think about, when I say that, as of late could have been the last few weeks, the last few months, as it has been in a confusing time period during most of this year of 2019. So if you're looking for clarity, this perhaps is your stone of choice. The clear quartz crystal is going to relate to the crown chakra, opening up the crown chakra to divine wisdom and guidance, opening up the crown chakra to download and or channel higher vibrational messages from the higher realms, from our angels and guides, from your higher soul self as well. The clear quartz crystal also magnifies energy. So if you need to send out some new intentions in your life. We just had a new moon last week, and this week we have Jupiter moving into a new sign, and Jupiter is the planet of blessings and expansion. So perhaps you want to send out new intentions with Jupiter going into the next sign of the zodiac, which we'll talk about here shortly. Then this again can help to direct with this point and help to magnify, because of its quality of magnification, the energies of what it is that you're intending or the new seeds that you're planting. And then your last stone of choice is this beautiful celestite. And the celestite is this beautiful light blue colored stone. It is the color of the sky. It's I'm just kind of laughing at myself by the way I'm communicating. It's the color of the sky. It's the color of, wispy clouds in a blue sky, actually, because it's got the white in there. But normally the celestite is that light blue color, relating to the throat chakra. And the throat chakra is our center of communication. So this is about speaking clearly, speaking authentically, speaking honestly what your truth is. And this can even be about channeling. The throat chakra is where we communicate. And so this is about channeling higher vibrational energies because this stone is a higher vibrational stone. In fact, it helps you to get in touch with the angelic realm. So if you're wanting to get in touch with your angels and or the archangels, those of the higher vibration of light that can communicate messages to us, then this could be your stone of choice. It obviously increases your intuition. I want to say clairvoyance, clairaudience, and again, the channeling ability of the throat chakra. So again, your stones of choice for the week are the citrine cluster, the clear quartz crystal point, and the celestite. So let's talk a little bit about the astrology for the week. There's not a whole lot going on. The last couple of weeks, it seems, maybe even the last 3 weeks, there's been a fair amount of astrological activity. And there's not a lot this week, so I do talk about some of the sextiles, which I'll get to in a minute. But the main thing that happens, and it is quite an important shift, is that Jupiter, the planet of abundance, prosperity, blessings, it's the planet that rules our belief systems, our philosophies of life. So it has this expansion principle related to it. Jupiter expands whatever it touches, and that can be for good or for not good. So this is why we have to pay attention to our belief systems and where our belief systems are at so that we're expanding into positivity, optimism. We're expanding into trust and faith and knowing that what it is we're working on is going to come to fruition. Now, for the past year, because Jupiter spends a year in each sign of the zodiac, so last fall of 2018, Jupiter went into its home sign of Sagittarius. So it was really at home here. It was really strong here because Jupiter is the ruling planet of Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is a similar kind of energy to Jupiter. It rules optimism and inspiration and travel and other cultures, other countries. It rules higher education. So going back to school or educating yourself on something new of a higher realm, like a spiritual, and not necessarily even just spiritual, but it's just higher education. It's beyond the elementary, when we think of going to elementary school versus college. College is that higher education as opposed to the education of the elementary schools that we go to. So it's beyond the simple, okay? And now Jupiter is transitioning into Capricorn. Now Capricorn is an earth sign. It's more practical. It's more goal-oriented. It rules our career, life path, destiny path. It rules our goals and ambitions. It rules authority. It rules the patriarchal system. And it rules third-dimensional energies in a sense. Capricorn is very according to the rules, according to, again, how we live in the third dimension. So Jupiter is going to expand over the next year. It's in this sign of the zodiac until latter December 2020. It's going to expand those energies. So in other words, it's expanding it's focusing on our belief systems because Jupiter is about our belief systems. What are your belief systems about your career, your life path, your destiny path, who you are out in the world? What are your belief systems about your goals, who you want to be out in the world, what you want to accomplish out in the world, how other people see you? It's about status and recognition on that level. It's about, again, the patriarchal system. So on a collective level, Jupiter is going to expand some of those energies that we're operating and living under, those rules and regulations of the patriarchal system, the government, etc. And interestingly enough, just to touch base with you, this is probably something we're going to be talking about in the December monthly reading, which I haven't done yet as of the time that I'm recording this, but it should be up by the 1st of December. So before this is probably published, I'll have that done. Saturn is in Capricorn. Pluto is in Capricorn. Now, they've been in Capricorn. Pluto's been in Capricorn for a very long time. Saturn's been in Capricorn for, a year and a half, a fair amount of time. And it's coming up to connect with Pluto as of the beginning of 2020. So that's going to be a really powerful energy that you'll want to make sure to listen to my upcoming videos to understand what that means. I might even be doing a workshop or class on that. But Jupiter, the planet of expansion, the planet that does rule blessings and abundance and prosperity, but again, it can expand into the positive or the not so positive depending on where we put our energy. Jupiter's going into the same sign of the zodiac as Saturn and Pluto. So now we're going to have 3 planets in that Capricornian patriarchal system energy. So it's definitely going to bring some interesting unfolding of events during the course of 2020. Now, also on Monday and going into Tuesday, so the 2nd and 3rd of December, a couple little things happening with sextile energies. We have Mercury and Scorpio. Mercury rules the mind, our thoughts, our ideas, our communication style, and communications with others. And it's in sextile to Pluto, the planet that rules transformation, regeneration, death and rebirth, big changes, and power, disempowerment versus empowerment energies. So Mercury is sextile Pluto, and Venus is sextile Mars. And of course, Venus and Mars are the lovers. Venus rules the divine feminine. Mars rules the divine masculine. Venus is in Capricorn right now. Mars is in Scorpio. So we're still, in some of that Scorpio energy with both Mercury and Mars being in Scorpio. And here we have Pluto and Venus in Capricorn. And they're making sextile aspects, Mercury to Pluto, Venus to Mars. Venus to Mars could bring us some sort of opportunity, because that's what a sextile is about. A sextile is an aspect of opportunity. And if we don't look for, and if we're not aware of what the opportunity is when it presents itself, that opportunity may pass us by. So we have to really be conscious and aware of the potential of opportunities coming in with these 2 aspects. But if we are aware of the opportunities, I want to say there's something related to career, business, money, finances going on. Because, again, with Pluto in Capricorn and Venus in Capricorn, and they're 2 separate connecting sextiles, Capricorn, again, rules that career path, that life path, that destiny path, business, big business. And with both Mercury and Mars being in Scorpio, Scorpio does rule other people's money, other people's resources. Now, Scorpio rules a lot of other things, secrets and people's hidden agendas and transformation and regeneration and death and rebirth energies. But I feel like there could be something going on with business and finances to where, again, there's opportunities here if we pay attention. On Saturday and Sunday, depending on what part of the world you're in, Saturday, Sunday, the 7th and the 8th of December, we have the Sun, which is in Sagittarius now, and it's challenging Neptune, which is in Pisces. Now, last week, Neptune went back to direct motion. And if you think back to last week and the week before, it was probably a very confusing time. We actually had Mercury coming out of its retrograde cycle in Scorpio and going direct, and then Neptune was slowing down and it went back to direct motion last week. So between those 2 energies, it's been kind of a confusing, hectic, chaotic time, emotional time. Again, lacking clarity, lacking a sense of groundedness, confusion, anxiety about life or things that were happening in our lives, or what to do or which decision to make. And I mentioned that because Neptune is still at its stationary point. It hasn't moved very far because it's a planet of the collective. It's a generational planet. So it moves very slowly. And because it's still at a standstill at 15 degrees of Pisces, that challenging connection from the Sun in Sagittarius is going to be much more felt. And the Sun being in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is a mutable sign. Neptune is in Pisces. Pisces is a mutable sign. What does that mean? The mutable signs are very changeable. They lack focus. They lack clarity or direction. So they can change their minds and vacillate. So not only do we have 2 planets that are in mutable signs, which vacillate, but we're in a challenging aspect with the Sun and Neptune. The Sun rules our identity, our sense of self and our self-identity, who we are. And Neptune is about illusion, confusion, and delusion. So we might be very confused about who we are, what we're doing, what choice to make, and we might be vacillating a lot when it comes to this coming weekend. However, also on Sunday, we have Venus in a sextile to Neptune. So again, we have another opportunity here with lovely Venus, who is more practical now and more goal-oriented now as she is in Capricorn. And with that sextile to Neptune, Neptune is much more than just illusion, confusion, and delusion. It's also magical and it's spiritual. So this is a positive aspect with Venus and Neptune. So there can be some sort of opportunity here that brings in some sort of magical happening, even though the sun is challenging Neptune and bringing about some confusion. Okay, if that makes any sense. Also, I want to say that a little heads up for Monday of next week, Monday the 9th, which is going to be part of next week's weekly reading. Mercury is going to make a sign change, and it's moving out of Scorpio into Sagittarius, which is going to be kind of bringing us a lighter sense of our own thought processes and a better sense of networking and connecting with others and being optimistic. So what does that mean? On Sunday the 8th, Mercury is in its last degree of Scorpio. And when a planet is in its last degree, when it's in the first degree or the last degree, it intensifies that energy. So with Mercury in the last degree of Scorpio on Sunday, it's again bringing an intensity of that particular energy. This can bring actually an intensification of our psychic processes, intuitive processes, our empathic abilities, because Scorpio rules all of that, and Mercury rules the mind and the mental level. But it can also bring about issues that were hidden, because again, Scorpio rules secrets, things that are hidden. It rules the subconscious. It rules what we call the underworld, meaning that the shadow side of our personality, the shadow side of our subconscious patterns, the shadow side of other people and their subconscious patterns. So there might be something really kind of churning in that last day of this week's reading. Mercury in Scorpio can be, again, very intuitive, very what do I want to say? Very clear about other people's motives and being able to read between the lines and again, picking up on other people's thoughts or emotions with that empathic ability. So it can be a very psychic placement as well, but there's kind of a mixed bag of energies with that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides and see what the week is going to bring us according to them. So looking at the first card, okay, we start out with Major Arcana number 13. And this is the release card with Archangel Azrael. Now, Archangel Azrael is the archangel that helps souls transition from the earth plane to another reality, to, if you want to call it heaven, if you want to call it another plane of existence. That's what Archangel Azrael does. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that is happening. Now, there may be a literal meaning out there for some of you. This is actually, in the traditional tarot, it is the death card, but death is symbolic and not necessarily just and only literal. So Archangel Azrael can also help us to grieve the death of a situation or the death of a way of living or the way of perceiving something or the way of believing. She's kind of the counselor angel, just like she can counsel those loved ones that may be, left behind, if you put it that way, which is a poor way to put it, really. When our loved ones transition to a different plane of reality, Archangel Azrael can help those that are left behind in the third dimensional plane by kind of like counseling them, supporting them, and helping them. Well, she does the same thing when it's a situation or an event or an energy within us, again, that is being grieved. So she's there to help us with that. Now, the message at the bottom says the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. So I feel like, with the new moon we had last week, that is about new beginnings. That is about a time to move into a new cycle and plant new seeds. And this week starts out with Jupiter moving out of Sagittarius and into Capricorn. So that's a new cycle too. It's going to bring a whole new cycle of energy, a whole new focus on the Capricorn energies for the year with Jupiter moving into that sign. So in a way, it is the end of a phase or a cycle. Now, again, there could be some sort of an ending with a particular situation, just as it's mentioned in the card here. And spiritual transformation. I feel like we've all gone through intense spiritual transformation in this year 2019 that's coming to a close now. Part of that was Jupiter in Sagittarius, his home sign. So it really gave us a new perspective or outlook on life, a new way to look at ourselves and the path that we were on, and maybe we had to redirect that path in the last couple of weeks or couple of months here. So with that, there has been a lot of spiritual transformation, and this is a reiteration that, again, you might have remnants of energies or a situation or an event, a relationship perhaps, or a thought process, subconscious pattern or belief system that has needed to be let go of, that you need to release and let go of. So spiritual transformation, it's time to move on to the next phase of your journey and allow again, or call in Archangel Azrael to help you to move through that time or this time, with what it is that you're feeling or experiencing. She can help you to kind of grieve the past, let it go, release it, as the card says, and move on to a time of rebirth, because again, the death card is about rebirth. So let's look at the next card here that's come up. And the next card is the King of Air. Okay, the King of Air. This is a court card. The air suit is the suit of swords in the traditional tarot. And the King of Air says at the top, brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. And at the bottom it says, speak your mind with confidence. It says, seek out professional advice and balance mental and emotional consideration. So the King of Air is all about thought. It's all about ideas and taking charge and making something of those ideas. The king is the most mature of the court cards, so he's really going to take the bull by the horn, so to speak, or he's going to take the reins of the horse, and he's going to really gallop ahead and move ahead here. So this is about being confident in your ideas, confident in your communication with other people, confident in yourself, and knowing that what it is that you believe, what your internal truth is accurate and appropriate for you. And when you're, I feel like this is career oriented too, when I look at the King of Air here, and it talks about professional, impartial, brilliant, diplomatic. Those are all things to me that go with that Capricorn energy. So I feel like there's new ideas in the career, there's networking going on with other people that can aid you on your path, there's practical, down-to-earth, but yet inspired communications that are happening that will perhaps bring about some new idea or path to follow. So again, speak your mind, speak your truth, be confident in who you are, and speak with that sense of not necessarily authority, but speak with the sense of being confident in yourself and confident in who you are and confident as to what your path is all about, and then move forward accordingly. And then your last message here, the last card, ooh, 5 of Fire. I shouldn't say ooh. But the number 5 can be chaotic and confusing. The fire element is the element of spirit, or in the traditional tarot, it's the suit of rods or wands. And with the 5 of Fire, there can be some confusion, some chaos going on, or a lot of things going on at the same time that leads us feeling anxious or unbalanced in some way. The message at the bottom here says competing goals, bothersome details, and conflict with others. Now, this is, if we look at it as a progression throughout the week, this would be where the sun is challenging Neptune, where, again, there's maybe some confusion or chaos that ensues, some ungrounded energies, some changeable energies with the sun in a mutable sign, challenging Neptune in a mutable sign. So it's not going to last very long, but just know that as we get towards the weekend or the end of the week, there may be a little bit of confusion. There may be a little bit of even perhaps disagreements with other people, or maybe we're lacking some sort of clarity as to making a particular decision or moving in a particular direction. And if you can at all wait until next week when Mercury moves into Sagittarius and the sun challenging Neptune kind of starts to pull apart, then that would be a great thing to do, is to just kind of wait and be patient before making a decision or changing a direction or moving forward. Now, if you can't, just do what you can to kind of calm and center yourself and go back to that King of Air. Go back to being impartial and listening to your higher mind, so to speak, listening to what it is that your inner truth is on a mental level, and move forward accordingly. This can just be that there's a lot of things again going on, and it causes us to feel like we're being pulled in a lot of different directions, and to not feel very grounded. But again, know that that won't last too long. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. So I'm going to pick up this deck here. This is, again, I haven't used this deck in a while for the special message card anyway. This is going to be, this is the Ascended Master deck. So for those of you that chose the citrine, open your heart to love, and this is with Master Jesus, okay? Open your heart to love. So I feel like, with some of the changing energies, with Jupiter going into Capricorn, with the Sun square Neptune, and Neptune is about unconditional love and compassion. It rules the spiritual realm. But I feel like this message is just about where you need to operate from. You need to operate from your heart space. You need to operate from a place of unconditional love, unconditional compassion, love and respect for yourself, nurturing for yourself, using that gentle, healing, loving, compassionate, and miraculous energy of Master Jesus, and call him in, to assist you in moving throughout this week. And why is this energy something that is your message? Because when you operate from the heart chakra, when you operate from a place of love, when you open your heart up to love for yourself, for life, for other people, and you offer that sense of forgiveness and compassion for other people and for yourself, don't forget that, for yourself it's most important, then that's where the miracles start to happen, because we're vibrating at a higher level. Unconditional love, it's that energy of the universe. And if we're operating at that level of universe source God, if we're operating out of our heart chakra, then this is where the magic and the miracles start to occur. And remember, even though the Sun is challenging Neptune on Saturday, Sunday, remember we have Venus in a positive sextile aspect to Neptune. This is where the unconditional love lies, is Venus, the ruler of the divine feminine. And she's also a planet of blessings, just like Jupiter is a planet of blessings, so she can bring great blessings as well. And coupled with Neptune, miracles can happen here, but you have to look for them. Remember, it's an aspect of opportunity. So look for the opportunities that are presented, especially as we get towards the weekend this week. Open your heart and be in a space of unconditional love, and this is where you're going to see great things happening. And healing, too. I feel like there can be great healing with that. For those of you that chose the clear quartz crystal point, this one's calling my attention. Ooh, I love this one, the power of joy with Maitreya Buddha. Okay, so the power of joy. This is being in a state of happiness, being in a state of joy. Again, this is about lifting your vibration. Just like the opening of the heart chakra and being in that state of unconditional love lifts your vibration, so does the power of joy and happiness. And it brings forth abundance and prosperity. Look at, he's holding a rainbow. And if you think about what does the rainbow symbolize? Well, it symbolizes the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And we have all that yellow color here, symbolizing the solar plexus chakra, your center of power, your center of confidence. And yellow also is the color of joy and happiness. To me, it's like that beautiful sunny day that makes you bright and shiny and happy and full of joy, like a child. And here's Maitreya Buddha just kind of laughing and being in that space of joy and kind of holding up that rainbow of hope and blessings and prosperity and abundance. So I feel like this is something that you can use in your meditations to bring forth and manifest not only joy and happiness in your life, but again, abundance and prosperity and all kinds of miracles can happen in this state. We have the yellow of the solar plexus chakra. We have an orange color here indicating passion, and the Maitreya is wearing red, which is the color of the root chakra, the chakra of manifestation, the chakra that brings things into form. This is where we manifest things. So use those lower three chakras. I feel like a lot of you maybe have to meditate, and as you're balancing your chakras, pay extra special attention to the solar plexus, sacral, and root chakra areas when you're balancing and opening and clearing those energy centers. This is where you want to focus that energy. A lot of us out there, a lot of us light workers, have really open and balanced upper chakras, heart chakra, throat chakra, ear chakras, third eye, and crown. And because we focus our attention there for clarity and psychic perception and healing abilities and whatnot. But sometimes we forget about the lower chakras. Sometimes we forget that we operate on this third dimensional plane from these lower chakras as well, that it's very important. And we are a higher vibrational being and soul for sure, but we're living in a physical vessel. We're living in a physical body. We're living on this third dimensional earth plane. Of course, it's raising to a higher vibration, third dimension to fifth dimension as far as the earth. But this is where we get into our confidence, our courage, our willpower, our passion, our creative self-expression, and our ability to manifest and bring things into form are those lower three chakras. So focus on those chakras this week. And then for those of you that chose the Celestite, let's give this a little shuffle here for Celestite. This one's calling my attention for Celestite people. This is retreat into nature with the green man. So the color green automatically makes me think of the heart chakra as well. So balancing, going back to the heart chakra, balancing the heart chakra, being in that space of unconditional love, connection to spirit. This is, to me, the heart chakra's healing abilities as well. And I feel like the retreat into nature, the green man, is all about finding that sense of peace, finding that sense of balance, finding that sense of connectedness, that interconnectedness to your higher soul self, interconnectedness to spirit, to the universe, and the connectedness to nature, the animal kingdom, Earth Mother Gaia, also as well, the planet is very important. So perhaps some of you are working on a planetary level with the ecosystems, with nature, with the animal kingdom, maybe with gridding the planet, with crystals. There's a whole lot of ways that we can assist Mother Earth Gaia. But this is also, besides that, a message for you to go within yourself and again find that sense of inner peace within yourself and maybe do some inner healing within yourself. I'm getting the sense that a lot of you have been through quite a time over the last few weeks and months, and perhaps it's time to take a little vacation or a weekend getaway or even just a few hour walk out in nature can help to bring a lot of clarity and a lot of abilities to connect with your kind of truth within. And here, as I'm looking, I just realized that there's a heart here. Here's the green man, and here's the heart, and there's a fairy on either side of the heart. So again, that heart chakra is very important and centering. And I feel like there's some forgiveness too, forgiveness towards others, maybe forgiveness towards yourself, whether it be about a situation, a relationship, an old pattern, whatever it is. I feel like you need to come into that sense of unconditional love for yourself and again for others. And being out in nature is a great way to kind of ground that energy. Touching a tree, sitting on the ground, walking barefoot, speaking to the plants, listening to what the flowers have to say. All of these things are going to be very helpful in centering and healing for you this week. So I hope you've all liked this weekly angel card reading. I send all of you lots of love and light. I thank all of you for sending your positive and good intentions for me as I make my move and my transition into my new place. I love each and every one of you. Almost getting a little choked up. We're entering the holiday season, and making big changes, making transitions sometimes, especially during the holiday season, can be difficult. So thank you for all of you that have sent your love and light and support in one way, shape, or form to me during this time. I send you much love and light back and many, many angel blessings.